Madness with Deb and Dana. Do you guys know anything about alpaca farming?
Tonight we are doing Color Out of Space. It is a surreal cosmic horror directed by Richard Stanley.
Love him.
It is his first feature film since being removed from the island of Dr. Moreau.
Is it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that. It should have been, and that is proper, and also he's banging, and I love that man.
He made a great comeback. This is an adapted
Did
film.
he, though? Nobody ever watched this. Unfortunately, because this is an incredible film. No matter, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a scene snob or a pop culture leftover dude.
Out.
Yeah, shout outs to everybody ever. Like, you can't watch this movie and finish it and be like, I hate this movie. You can't.
No, you can't.
This is an incredible movie.
This is adapted from H.P. Lovecraft's
At no point.
1927 short story.
At no point in this movie did he move in with a native tribe in Africa, I believe. I believe it was a native tribe in Africa because he got fired and then played background characters that no one stopped him from doing because everybody was like, I don't know who this guy is, but like, yeah, I mean, he seems to be doing great. He can be a weird little monster in the island of Dr. Moreau. And he's just like, well, I was the director a week ago.
There's a lot of shit with
I love Richard Stanley.
There's a lot of shit with Richard Stanley.
He's a psycho. He shouldn't be trusted. When I was falling in love with film as a film thing, as a young child that didn't know anything about anything, Hardware was like maybe one of the like there's a couple, there's two or three, but like Hardware was maybe the first movie film that I ever watched in my life that I was like, oh my god, this is a thing that should matter. And it's Richard Stanley.
So
Dick Stan?
Richard
Stanny D?
Stanny D. I like
Stanny
that.
D.
Stanny
Stanny D. Man, I love that dude. I'm sorry that he did an actual bad thing. I didn't know about that.
He also makes amazing movies, and this was his comeback. Color Out of Space.
It's his comeback after like 25 years or something, yeah.
This movie stars Nicolas Cage.
Greatest actor of all time.
Jolie Richardson. Great in this. Nick Cage.
Everyone's great in this.
Everyone is amazing in
Nick
this.
Cage is unfucking believable in this movie with the first half of the most serious maybe I've ever seen Nick Cage, like ever. He's not being action, he's just being serious for the first half of this movie, like being a incredible, great, serious actor.
Also, he pulls camp into a serious movie in a serious way.
That's later.
Which is,
First half.
Later.
First half is just Nicolas Cage acting like a serious actor. So, I was lucky enough to see this movie right when it was first released, maybe even a little bit before it was released with a couple of friends of mine. Love you, Wes and Ross. You guys aren't watching. So, the wildest thing I'd ever seen in my life was this movie started. And we were literally, it was a couple weeks before it came out, and we got tickets to go see this way before because my friends work with stuff.
Yes, with
I don't know
TV stuff.
what more to say than I got a couple of friends that work with stuff. And Wes, if you ever listen to this, I love you, bro. And I'm not talking shit at all. But regardless, so the movie started and Nicolas Cage came on the screen. And immediately every word Nicolas Cage said, people were laughing at. Multiple times, like his first like 5 or 6 lines that he had, and everyone laughed. And I was like, this shit ain't funny. He's serious as fuck. And then,
He
like,
is.
just a few more minutes into the movie, the laughing at every line that Nicolas Cage said ceased because it's that goddamn good of a movie.
It is an amazing fucking movie.
I would say I live to pick apart high budget good movies. There's like almost nothing I can pick apart in this movie. Like Hellraiser, seriously, top 3 horror movies of all time. I can pick that movie apart on how much
we've all heard
terrible,
it.
awful directing and cinematography fails is just from like the first second to every other second in that entire movie from beginning to end. There's nothing to pick apart in this movie. Like, this is maybe the most underrated horror movie ever made. No one's seen it. No one's seen it. No one cares about it. No one knows it exists. This movie, it's not Shining level. But at the same time, there's few movies that pull off what they're doing as well as this movie does, with cinematography, score, writing, just straight book to film. Like, you can't translate the actual book to a film, and like, I don't think a job could have been done better with just being like, yeah, it's Lovecraft and all of his crazy big old English words that he was.
This is one of the best adaptations I have ever seen.
I mean, the best is definitely At the Mouth of Madness.
No, this is one of the best. That's what
But
I said.
At the Mouth of Madness is not technically a Lovecraft adaptation. It's the best Lovecraft movie ever. I watched a million things, and everything, I think without question, says this is the best adaptation.
There are things that are in this movie that aren't. The family dynamic is not there. It's more personal in the book. In the book, it focuses more on each person. This movie focuses more on the family dynamic. But it is still a great adaptation.
So it's weird. Just a couple hours ago, we were chilling up here in Studio 93, and this weird meteorite hit outside. And we went and we looked at it, and it smelled weird, and like...
Only to you. I didn't smell anything. This movie is about a family who moves to a farmhouse to get away from the chaos of city life. And a meteorite hits their yard.
A what?
A meteorite.
Is that like a stalactite and a stalagmite?
A meteorite?
Isn't there a difference in a meteorite and a meteor?
It is, but whatever.
Okay.
They're interchangeable in this podcast. A meteorite hits
This
their
is for
land
entertainment purposes only.
and infects everything it comes in contact with.
Everything.
With a strange color, which the color is just the unknowable. Like, it's not something perceptible. If you've ever read this story, it is only explained as a color because it's something that is imperceptible any other way.
So I think going crazy pink, which they called magenta.
It's more purplish to me.
Really?
I thought it was
way more
purplish.
pink. It was just like neon ass pink. It was like
purplish.
80s neon pink. Okay, so magenta.
Yeah, purple, pink, magenta. We'll go magenta.
It's just like neon ass 80s pink to me the whole time. The color out of space. It's indescribable.
And the color in the movie is beautiful and really does that. It does. So, the family finds out that this color, which is just an insurmountable, imperceptible thing, is an alien force that is changing everything it touches. Land, matter, time.
That's like after the beginning scene.
I'm doing a synopsis, babe.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, synopsize.
I want to talk about the opening scene because this is a beautiful forest. It's filmed in Portugal. It is beautiful and it is creepy and it is ethereal and surreal. So we get this forest in the opening scene.
We also get a Barbie leg swastika.
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
No!
Yeah, like the opening of the whole movie starts with like a zoom in of the beautiful forest. No, there's like the whole opening thing where they're like narrating the beginning of the book and everything. And then they like zoom into the forest where the characters are, and there's like a swastika made out of Barbie legs for no apparent reason.
I totally missed that.
Yeah, it's a Richard Stanley thing. It's going the Buddhist way because I think Richard Stanley is a Buddhist.
I kind of think so too.
I'm pretty sure that he claims he's a Buddhist. And I think that's what he was going for. Also, he was going for a swastika made out of Barbie leg.
But I did see the daughter Lavinia doing a ritual.
Lavinia Fisher from Charleston.
No, but I loved the name.
No, it's Richard Stanley. So that's a thing I want to say. There's endless references.
Everywhere.
Every second of this movie is a reference of something. Just like, oh my God, I'm so shocked that like he ever watched Jurassic Park or any of the other. I'm kind of surprised Richard Stanley ever watched The Thing. There's Thing references right at the beginning. The dog.
Yeah.
The dog right at the beginning is the Thing dog, and it's from a distance, and it's not a husky like the Thing, but when the movie starts and first shows the dog, it's from a bit of a distance and is clearly supposed to make you think about the dog from the Thing. And also, this movie's just the Thing.
The first callback I noticed in this movie, you're talking about callbacks, the scene with the girl with the horse and the ritual. Lavinia's doing her ritual.
Starts with the lesser banishing of the pentagram. She's like, somebody had to research into stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not right for any specific. It's not a Wiccan ritual. It's not an Alexandrian ritual. Like, it is, like, super hardcore, like an actual ritual that, like, you could just do at any point. Oh, also, her first name is Lavinia. From Charleston, South Carolina, Lavinia Fisher. Her last name is Gardner. She's a Wiccan. Gerald Gardner and Aleister Crowley invented Wicca. Like, they made that a thing. So, like,
so many little nods in this movie.
So, like, I feel like those are deep cuts.
Yeah.
Right there in those first couple minutes, there's just so many deep cuts that it's like, wow, like, goodness.
You got no shit
Yeah,
to
like,
know this movie.
Right, which, like, is why I love it so much. But, like, even if you don't know shit, it's just nonsense that they're talking, and it's still just as good of a fucking movie. But, like, I guess I am life blessed with, like, getting all of these crazy deep cut nods that they're doing in the first, like, 2 minutes of this movie. I'm just like, yeah, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what they're doing there. Like, good Lord, like, this is my fucking movie. So, dude whose name I don't know, that's the hydrologist. Ward.
She meets Ward.
So, in about 1994, I bought a Miskatonic University shirt at Dragon Con.
No, really?
Yeah, it was black, but it was the exact same shirt.
So then Nick Cage is making a cassoulet. Babe, is that how you make a cassoulet?
Oh, not exactly, but, like, it's not off. It's not too far off. Like, yeah, you can make a cassoulet that way. I didn't taste it.
Fair enough.
What's her name? Julia Child didn't taste it.
Oh.
I don't know I don't know how Julia Child felt about Nick Cage and H.P. Lovecraft Stories cassoulet. But like, I'd be willing to bet it was banging. I'm super surprised that Nick goes down to the wine cellar and it's not just like Coppola wines. I feel like that was a missed marketing opportunity.
So then the youngest brother is looking in the well, and he says he sees stars in the well, and that's the first little foreshadowing. He's looking in the well, and he's like, I see stars in there, and nobody else sees them. Jack is connected on another level.
I guess on a thing that I'm trying to not tear this movie apart because I think it's such a good movie.
It is a great movie.
He says that before the meteorite falls, which, like, yeah, it's Lovecraft. Yeah, I guess that makes a little bit of sense, but, like, also, like, nothing's happened, so, like...
No, nothing's happened, but you know something's gonna happen, and that's the first hint.
Is that foreshadowing?
No way.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of foreshadowing before.
So, I want to say triangles.
So many triangles.
Okay, so that is also a prominent thing in Lovecraft books.
Well, it's pyramids.
Triangles.
Triangles.
Commonly...
They don't ever mention a pyramid in this
movie,
but there's triangles like a motherfucker.
Triangles, spiritually, it's the dynamic forces of creation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And it plays into this movie, and it plays into Lovecraft, and Lovecraft uses a lot of non-Euclidean geometry, and he uses triangles to describe cosmic horror.
I don't disagree, but like I also don't think that's exactly right. But like, we'll carry on.
Why does Nicolas Cage, I was gonna call him Nick Cage.
My boy Nick.
Why does he look so awkward when he's kissing people in every movie?
Because Nicolas Cage shouldn't kiss people. Who did he kiss?
His wife in this movie. And I was just like, it's so awkward.
He kisses people and everything.
I know, but it's always so awkward. I love Nick Cage. Our bathroom, our guest bathroom, is Nick Cage bathroom.
And you're all invited to see it at any point in time. Come to Myrtle Beach, visit our Nick Cage bathroom.
Nick Cage.
Our Nick Cage bathroom has been featured on famous social media people's pages because they went to our house and was like, holy fuck, I wasn't expecting that. When I walk into our Nick Cage bathroom, you open the door and the first thing you see is naked Nick Cage coming out of a peeled banana.
My poor mom wanted to use the bathroom, and she got Nick Cage in a banana peel. Nick Cage is Jesus. My poor mother. I love her. But
she wasn't ready for that. And you wash your hands, and you're like, God.
Oh,
I have to dry my hands on a Con Air Nicolas Cage towel. God, I love our bathroom so much. It's unbelievable.
We love Nick Cage.
Oh, man. And this movie solidifies it so hard.
Nick Cage does what only Nick Cage
This movie is way too long. It's way too goddamn long. And you get a solid fucking hour of Nicolas Cage being the greatest actor that ever lived. And then you get another hour of Nicolas Cage being crazy, fucking wild, goofy Nicolas Cage.
And also, okay, I'm not there yet. We're gonna get there. So, the meteorite hasn't even landed in their lawn yet.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Hasn't it, though? Or maybe it landed eons ago. And it bent time around itself.
So, the family is having a hard time adjusting to farm life and alpacas, which Nicolas Cage loves his alpacas.
So, like, that's the thing, I feel like if there's two humans that ever walk the face of the earth that are all about alpacas, it's Nicolas Cage and Richard Stanley. I strongly considered looking up whether Nick or Richard owns alpacas, and I was just like, I don't need to look that up. I don't need to look that up at all.
Nick Cage probably owns alpacas.
They both probably do, and if they don't, they've both always wanted to.
Nick Cage could show you how to milk an alpaca like nobody else. Okay, I want to talk about this movie. So, no flesh shall be spared. It is huge foreshadowing, obviously, if you have ever seen the movie. So then we get this amazing magenta shade across the whole entire screen. And there are flashes of everyone's life. Everyone's doing a different thing.
Then there is the massive Jurassic Park reference.
Wait, what?
They show a glass of water that is shaking because the meteorite is falling, and it cuts from the glass of water shaking directly to the kid holding a dinosaur stuffy above his face.
Oh my god, I missed that completely.
Yeah, no, straight up hardcore Jurassic Park reference. So then the color out of space is pink as it's coming
Purple.
down.
Pinkish purple.
Magenta. I think it was just neon ass pink, but we can argue about that forever because the color is unknowable by human eyes. But what that pink shouldn't have done is fuck up Nick Cage getting laid for the first time in 6 months.
And bam! The meteorite hits. And everything is still for a moment. And then the family goes to see what has happened.
The smell out of space.
Nick Cage notices the smell. He is mentioning the smell over and over, and everyone else is just like...
The smell out of space.
The smell out of space. Yeah. That is the first sign that something is happening.
Uh-huh.
And then after the meteorite hits, the youngest son, Jack, is very despondent and in like a trance. They call the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. But like
So
it
they
didn't
tried
completely
to
not
make-
fit in. It was really weird that the whole ass mayor showed up and stuff.
Okay, so with the deleted scenes, it made sense because it leaned more into the political sense of the movie. Like, there's water contamination, and the mayor's like, I don't give a fuck, I want my dam, blah, blah, blah. But they don't show any of that. That's all deleted scenes. It made more sense with the deleted scenes that don't matter in the movie at all. But the mayor did make more sense.
Well,
with the
I think
deleted
even
scenes.
with the deleted scenes, the end of the movie still didn't actually make sense. But, you know, whatever. Still a damn good movie. So I guess there's this underlying thing that the mayor is trying to buy their farm to build the dam
Yeah.
on top of where their farm is supposed to be.
Which is in the book.
Which is the end of the movie, is that the dam gets built on top of their farm. But like also like I don't think even with the deleted scenes that leads to anything that makes sense. And I think that's why it's deleted, is because it doesn't matter.
doesn't.
And like, yeah, they built the dam on top of their farm, and it just didn't matter that. I think it was a proper.
So they tried to make this movie more political than it was, and it didn't play out right. And that's neither here nor there. So they call the sheriff. And Ward, the dude that Lavinia met at her ritual, comes out. And he's going to test some water. They come out to check out this meteorite after the meteorite hits. And all Nick Cage is talking about is milking the alpacas. I now know how to milk an alpaca.
Do you though?
I didn't know, and it might be a thing. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't know alpaca milk was a thing.
Well, I only knew alpaca cheese is stupid expensive because of how little milk alpacas produce.
Apparently, they can make a lot of milk if you
Or Nicolas Cage.
If you are Nicolas Cage.
And feed them a little bit of fennel.
Oh, fennel. Fennel does help. That's what he found.
Oh.
Is that fennel helps. So then they send the little middle boy, Benny, to take Ward to meet Ezra.
Oh, man.
And Ezra is Tommy Chong.
So we're still in the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tommy Chong is playing Tommy Chong.
Yes.
But he is playing Tommy Chong in a very serious way.
He is.
From front to back, like even at the end, like
it is believable. And
he's kind of just like being the character you would expect him to be. But like, he's not a goofy Cheech and Chong character.
Tommy Chong does great in this role.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Chong
It's great.
And
But
you're like, nobody could play Ezra better than Tommy Chong.
right, he is the weird hippie who there's no one that could be better in that part.
No.
He's perfect. And he's also wildly serious. But also you expect Nicolas Cage to be hilarious and overboard, and for the first half of the movie he's not.
But then he brings the camp in this movie.
I don't think he brings the camp. He brings the Nicolas Cage crazy. He doesn't bring anything campy. I don't think it is.
His rant?
I think it is appropriate, and
it is. So
it's much like the Chong situation where like
I think this film toes the line. It's not campy. It is terror. It is dread.
Yeah.
But there's that little bit that breaks it up, which makes it tolerable. Because this movie does make you feel uncomfortable. The ringing in the ears, the flashes of light, the hallucinations that people are seeing makes the viewer so uncomfortable. They break it up a little bit with the Tommy Chong in there and the Nicolas Cage in there, or else this movie is not tolerable.
I'm not saying that this movie is the best movie ever made.
It is a great fucking movie.
I am saying I think this is the one of the most underrated movies ever made. You can't watch this movie and finish it and be like, "Oh, that fucking sucked. That was goofy and terrible." There's just no way. It's beautifully filmed. It's beautifully and perfectly acted by actors who aren't even in their element.
This movie does the uncomfortable so well.
So that's yes. I think that's a thing that I have questioned myself since the first time I saw it. If it wasn't Nicolas Cage and it wasn't Tommy Chong, would it be better or worse? You know what I mean?
I think it would be worse, honestly.
I don't think it would have necessarily worked with any other actors, and they both feel like they're not the right people for the role.
They're both out of their comfort zone with the role.
Well,
Nicolas Cage does phenomenal. His rant, his crazy rant, after he starts losing it. It starts with the newscast, and he starts losing it a little bit. And you see it. The mom chops her fingers off. They go to, and when he gets back, he is losing it.
the carrot scene?
Yes, the carrot scene.
Which I feel like one of two tropes.
Carrie?
One of two tropes that pissed me off. Carrots, if a carrot's being chopped, a finger's coming off. Always. So I think another trope that pisses me off, my least favorite trope, is going up fucking stairs. under what circumstance would you drag your fucking fused wife and son upstairs?
Monster is a crazy mix of video effects
And real shit.
and real shit. They had a creature actor come in, but there's also real bad CGI.
So it's so weird. There's really, really, really good CGI.
Yeah.
And then real bad CGI in the same movie. And I think what you hate is the pink stuff.
I don't hate anything about this movie.
Where it like gets really 70s looking, and you're talking about how some of the CGI looked great and some of it looked bad.
It was the lightning strikes. It was the little lightning bolts.
I feel like it was on purpose. I feel like they were going for a 70s vibe because it's
a very retro
doing
movie.
so much The Thing stuff. So I think one of the craziest things in this whole movie is the mantis, and they address that in the special features.
The mantis is so beautiful.
The mantis on the well, perfect. It's like on the side of the well, right?
Perfect.
So it is, without question, there's no human that's ever going to look at that and not be like, that's CG. But at the same time,
it's so beautiful.
It's one of the best looking CG things that is clearly CG I've ever seen in my life.
The jellyfish in his hand is
The jellyfish in his hand doesn't look like CG. It is so well done. It is unfucking believable. The little jellyfish thing looks straight up real, and it's computer graphic.
It's beautiful, and there's so many lighting effects that I love in this movie.
It's wild that they.
And there
but that's what I'm saying.
That are so bad.
But I think it was a choice to make you uncomfortable.
It had to be.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose. I really do.
Because everything else is so well done. The cinematography is beautiful. The acting is phenomenal. That's why I was so frustrated at the end when everything.
Have you ever seen Hardware?
No.
Oh God, we gotta watch Hardware. We gotta do an episode on Hardware. I think the only reason the island of Dr. Moreau, whatever it is, will go down in history as being what it is because of Richard Stanley. And Richard Stanley fucking agrees. There's been documentaries written about the wildness of that fucking movie, and the wildness of that movie, even when he left, was still just riding on his own coattails. And he knows that, and he's right. He is a crazy idiot.
He is.
That is capable of unbelievable things, and people just don't give him the opportunity. And this was his opportunity.
This was his comeback.
And he fucking pulled it off better than anyone could possibly pull it off. And like straight up, no one watched it. No one cared. It is every bit as perfect as a comeback movie can possibly be.
This movie, overall, it brings it. It is beautiful. It is done well. The acting is phenomenal.
Love it.
I fucking love this movie.
I would find it hard. I would be hard pressed to like put it in a top list. Weirdly, and I feel weird about that.
Dude, you gotta love top movies. It is
I can't put it in a top of anything movie, but I also think this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And that's knowing nothing. I'm an idiot. I know nothing. I'm always wrong.
To pick it apart.
I don't know shit about fuck, but like, I think this is crazy underrated and is an amazing fucking movie. And I've never heard anyone say otherwise that's actually seen it.
It is phenomenal.
I think that whole thing about this being the best Lovecraft adaptation, yeah, because like the Unnameable is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think is that the right movie? I think it's The Unnameable. Was actually pretty pretty decent with adaptation, but it was also kind of a shitty movie. But like, it was a pretty good adaptation. But this is a better adaptation. And like, really, the best one, without question, is In the Mouth of Madness.
Yes.
But it's not literally a Lovecraft adaptation. It is the best Lovecraft movie ever made.
Yeah.
Hands, feet, fucking toes and fingers and
It
pinkies and fucking eyebrows above anything else. But also, it's not a literal adaptation of anything. It's just the best Lovecraft movie. It's as much of a Stephen King movie as it is a Lovecraft movie.
That's the thing. Lovecraft is hard to pull off.
It's impossible.
And
because of the way he wrote. It's impossible to pull it off.
Richard Stanley did it well, and Nicolas Cage did it well. The actors in this movie did it well. I think this is a great adaptation. And it modernizes it.
Oh, modernizing Lovecraft is always like one of the hardest parts.
And Richard Stanley and Nicolas Cage and Jolie Richardson
and
Madeline Arthur.
Thinking about it, I think it's in the movie The Necronomicon. It was an anthology movie called The Necronomicon. And the cool air section of it was like really banging. It was like spot fucking on with the story. It was like exactly Also, it might not have been Necronomicon. It might have been a different anthology movie, but I'm pretty sure it was the 90s movie, The Necronomicon, which I haven't seen since it was new and was reading Lovecraft actively at the time. They had a cool air segment that was like almost like exactly what it was supposed to be. And then like the rest of the movie was wild dog shit.
I don't know. I think this is a great adaptation that brought it into a today scenario.
Guess what, Deb?
What?
We love you, motherfuckers, and good night.